Welcome to Jumping with Jackson. I'm Jackson.
And I'm Tyler.
Our guest today is a good buddy, Brady Hold.
He's a stand-up comedian and homeless, interesting person.
He used to live in his car, and now he no longer lives in his car. He has a dwelling of his very own that he rents in San Francisco. And he had a very interesting freak out when signing the waiver. And
they're prepping him to jump right now.
Luckily,
so we're not going to do an interview beforehand.
We are not, because we don't want to talk him out of it. We want him to have this amazing experience and just do it, and then we'll talk to him afterwards. And I love the idea of getting his feedback of like, hey, remember how you felt and how freaked out you are? How do you feel now?
Because, man,
It was weird.
He had like a blank fear. He was not ready to do this. He just was ready to back out
and
right
like,
then.
Tyler and I are insane, so like we don't process fear like normal people do. And it's very interesting because we're both like, how do we deal with you? I don't know how to deal with this level of fear. And like everyone else I've talked to is super down to go skydiving. So I'm like, oh, I didn't know this was a possibility.
Yeah, this is one of the things.
And so, yeah, I'm really happy that, the other instructors and the people who run this space, like, got him to a place where he felt comfortable and he felt good. Because, like, we're not going to make him jump if he doesn't want to jump. But I'm also super fucking stoked that he did decide to jump.
Yeah, that he switched.
Yeah.
We didn't anticipate that at all.
No, I bet, like, if I was going to put money, I would have put it at, like, 80-20. I would be like, I'm gonna put $80 against $20 that he's not going to jump, and I would have lost $80. I'm very happy I would have lost that bet. I'm happy to be wrong.
Yeah.
Like...
But also I have to take a jump too, so I have to go train for that.
Yeah, so
this is the intro.
Yes.
Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to Jumping with Jackson. Come jump with us.
This is Tyler. I'm going to try something new this week, narrating the skydive. You can watch it on our YouTube channel, Jumping with Jackson, obviously. Here we got Brady in the door, exiting with three guys following behind him. So the tandem jumpers are out, and the drogue is deployed. They're stable on their belly. We're pretty far away from Brady, so we can't quite see him. Here, flyers coming in closer. There's Brady waving at the camera. And there in the background, you see it here in a second. Here comes the other flyer. So it's just Brady and the tandem jumper falling right now. But what's about to happen is pretty epic and pretty fucking amazing, and not a very normal tandem jump. So here come the other three guys that were in the plane. They are maneuvering to catch up to Brady and to dock with him. And they're going to create a formation here in a couple seconds. This does not happen normally on tandem jumps, but this is a pretty epic one. Here they come in, and they're going to get it. Here they go. On the dock. Boom. Ringed up. Got it. And now they're probably getting down to their pull altitude, and they're all breaking apart. And this guy's geeking the camera. And there goes Brady's parachute. Fucking epic.
Welcome to Jumping with Jackson. I'm Jackson. My guest today is Brady Hold.
Hey, I'm Brady Hold.
Tell the people at home, who are you?
Hey, I'm Brady Hold. I'm a local Bay Area comic, open micer. Been in the scene for like 4 years, and I also have a day job, but I would say for the most part, I do comedy every night, and that's my thing. And today, I just jumped out of a plane.
So one of the things I absolutely love is how nervous you were signing the waiver.
Yeah, dude, that was, so like, for the viewers at home, like, I kind of agreed to this, and then, like, it was, I can't really afford it, and then it was...
We sprung it on him.
Yeah. And
we kind of jumped in with it.
It was sprung on me.
It was basically, hey, we need a guest today.
And I Brady Hold, am one to plan things out. Like, my vacations are all set in stone years in advance, you know.
You're a planner.
Yeah, I'm a planner, but...
We pushed you out of your comfort zone a little bit more than we intended.
Yeah, and anytime it gets above, like, 60 degrees, San Franciscans freak out, and we're just like, it's hot, I can't breathe. And
we're not in San Francisco, guys. We're in Byron, which is hot.
Yeah, it's like 100 degrees today, almost.
Nah, like, I know heat. But this was hot, but what happened is it was hot, and we were in a warehouse, and there's people all walking around, and, like, you guys are like, just sign this. Don't read it. Why are you reading it? Ha-ha, you're reading it, you fag.
We did not say that. That was just the sentiment.
That was just like, coming from like a Marine and a cripple, I was just like, man, why can't I fucking be a man? Like,
don't be a pussy. But
I'm a man.
The best part is that the instructors and the people running the space were able to get you comfortable. What did they say to you? How did they walk you through the process to get you to the point where you said, you know what, I am ready for this?
You know, it wasn't like what you guys were doing, because like you guys were kind of like almost freaking me out too much, because you're like, we don't have a lot of options. Like, we were going to record it, we might do a sky tunnel, or we might do this, and I'm just like, okay, I feel like they're putting this all on me, you know?
Which we did not anticipate doing.
Not our intention.
Sorry about that. Learning over here.
And so like, normally I'm more comfortable under like plans. I have things planned out, but I just said, you know what? In life, you can't plan everything, and it's just kind of like those big leaps in life, and like where you just kind of need to have a little bit of faith and be like, I guess at the end of this, I either will be dead or I will be not dead, you know.
And now you're not dead.
You're not dead.
Because even my grandfather, late in life, he was in his 40s, almost 50s, had a wife, had 3 kids. He left a comfortable corporate job and said, I'm going to start my own business. And I look at that guy as like as an example of like, how can I be like, you know,
an adventurous spirit.
Yeah, take those leaps, even as they still challenge you, even at those points where it's like, of course you need to be doing this right now, because it's like it's absolutely like the thing that you need to be doing, and it's like the thing that is the most scary is the thing that you need to be doing. It's almost like, you know how Spider-Man has a spider sense, and he's like, oh, I need to like avoid that doorway because I'll get blown up. It's like kind of like if you have your spider sense, it's like you need to open that doorway. It's like, because that's the true heart of darkness, is journeying into that unknown.
And that ladybug just jumped off your hand. Oh, it's on your pants.
It's on my pants now.
We got a ladybug in the car.
Yeah, the ladybug is the extra guest. So yeah, man, I'm really happy that you went skydiving, and like, so you're talking about your grandfather, like, how do you have brothers and sisters? Do you have a big family, a small family?
Small family, just me and my brother. He's a teacher out on the East Coast. I'm, I'm doing my thing. I'm a security guard by day, comic by night. My mom works. My dad's a hypnotherapist. So I feel like, yeah, it's just life is about, it really is about taking these journeys into the metaphorical, real. Like, the ones, because, like, I feel the reason, like, guys have so much energy is because we are cavemen that were meant to fucking fight dragons, you know, and we try to get through a lot of that with our science fiction and our mythology, but then there is something that's like, you know what? The reason these stories are designed to be scary and be about going through the hardest thing you could possibly go through is because sometimes you need to go through that.
Right. They give us a framework so that when we have that terrifying thing, we have a schema to work from.
Yeah. Like
the knowledge that you're going to be okay on the other side.
And honestly, once I was on the plane, even walking up to the plane, everything was fine. Like it wasn't freaking me out, the act of like doing it. Like there was a definite like, once they opened the door, like you could see that oh shit look on my face, but like it's once it was happening, it's happening, and it's not even like I'm like worried about it, because it's like I trust these guys.
Tyler's thing is once you're out of the plane, and that's something he really likes to say, because it's like once you're doing the thing.
Yeah, the way I phrase it is you're already out of the plane. When you're sitting there waffling about something, oftentimes you're already in it. You just haven't acknowledged that you've already.
Yeah.
The thing is already happening, whether you're engaging with it or not.
Yeah. When you're in the plane, it's the worst part of like metaphorical. Like you're like, I'm in this thing and I have to deal with it. And that waffling and that like, meh, I should plan and I should do and I should meh. But then you're actually doing the thing is much less. Like, it's just like, oh, I'm doing the thing now. I'm over it. Like, I am just going to do the thing.
Yeah. What does it Neil Peart say in Rush? It's like, some choose not to make a choice, but they've already made a choice.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, it's that basically. Yeah, I'm really glad I did it.
Well, you had a pretty legendary fucking first experience.
Yeah.
Most people do not get to experience formation flying.
Yeah, dude, I haven't even done that shit. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's not like, honestly, you can't, if you're the guy, you can't really see it that much. Like, I could kind of see they were forming up, but it's like it had nothing to really do with what I was doing.
Yeah,
so.
they were.
You're along for the ride,
You
but
were-
you were
yeah.
along for a really cool
That
ride.
was a really cool ride, man.
And your landing was epic as fuck. Like,
Those kind of things.
Fucking just knocked him out.
like he ducked out of the way, no one got hurt. But like,
He was trying to duck, but he was just fucking like running right into it. I'm sure there's plenty of video. It's gonna be like, I'm gonna leave it on my Instagram under the hashtag Jumping with Jackson, and then I'm sure you guys will fucking show it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's
fucking
ridiculous.
It was almost like a Spider-Man swing, you know, like how he's like, he sticks his feet out and then he just like, and then like hits him with his feet like a battering ram. It
Yeah, you're
almost,
right at the bottom of the turn.
It felt like one of those.
Nice.
Like,
These guys bonked him. All right, I wanted to give this a try. That I've got the video queued up right here. I was just gonna hold it up right here between the seats where you guys can see it.
All right,
And-
we'll do a running commentary.
And yeah, I want to be able to not stop it so that I can play it. I'll sync it back up for everybody back home.
All right, and we can have it in a picture-in-picture kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
All right,
so
cool.
And
everybody
here's
else
the
will
clap.
Be able to see it. Yeah, right. It's gonna. I'm 16 seconds for my own reference. So they're just exited the plane here.
I'm spinning around. I'm spinning. You need to update your Adobe Acrobat.
Hey, check it out, flat earthers. The Earth is round.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like, how come the Earth turns into a concave Earth when we go upside down? Can't explain that, science. See, right there. You saw it. You saw it.
Dude, he flies right under you right there. That was pretty cool.
I'll probably frame by frame that, and that'll be my new Tinder profile pic.
Just all 5 of your Tinder pictures are just
Me.
Now they're gonna hit their formation on you.
bam.
Oh, that was beautiful. I'm just glad to have been a part of that.
And this dude.
Yeah, like, I want that to be my picture. But I don't have fucking dangly hoop ears and
Dreadlocks.
dreadlocks and shit. I've got a job. Like,
Well, he has a job too. It's this.
it's this. Maybe I
right.
just need to do this.
So one of my favorite questions to ask is, what was your favorite part of the skydiving? Was it the free fall? Was it the under canopy? Was it the landing? What do you like?
Yeah, I think it was the free fall, probably, because it's just like, actually, no. One of my favorite parts is right after the free fall. You're just up there, and it's really quiet. Like,
It is.
It's like, even now, like, there's the hum of the car, you know, there's like the little flap of the towel. It was so quiet up there. It was like, my ears were still kind of like popped
Popping.
because of the altitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing around for
Yeah.
really far. And
That
it's
was-
enough to kill all the sound. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's that
so
silence, man.
It was eerily quiet, and I was like, wow, I'm surprised it's not more popular up here. Like,
Hey.
you know, like, but you get it, and that was probably like one of the more unexpected turns of it. But overall, the entire experience was enjoyable. But I liked that it was like, I could really come up here and like I could see how these guys do it all day just to get those few seconds of peace and quiet.
That purest meditation is how I
Yeah.
look at it.
It is a relationship with, I mean, that feeling, I think we mostly refer to it as the sky, like welcome to the sky kind of stuff of like, oh yeah, that's swimming in the sky. Like, yeah. That's the thing that we all enjoy. That's why it's skydiving. Because we're swimming, we get all those surreal little moments that they border on a hallucinogenic experience. They're
yeah.
so surreal. But
So
Yeah,
now,
the
now
whole-
that you've been through it, like, do you track the like comparison to like hallucinogenics more?
I mean, I can track that. Yeah, 100%. It's almost exactly like it, because like those psychedelic experiences that you have are just amplifications and metaphors of the real experiences that you need to have. So
Well said.
there's people who are like this and like don't do drugs, don't even drink, and like you see them and they're like on another level, because when you have these psychedelic experiences, it reveals into your psyche, into your biology, who you are, because it's like, sure. I think we're too comfortable. And like when I was living in my car,
here
for 18 months, I was living in my car, and it was, it becomes too easy after a certain point, because it's like surviving. Yeah, I got that down.
Right. Surviving is not that hard.
Yeah, and then it kind of becomes like, other people are like, oh, you should get like a mattress and lay that down, and I'm like, yeah, but if I do that, then I'll be like comfortable in the car, and that's not the point of being in the car, is to be comfortable. It's so that I can be focused on my razor's edge, so that like I'm pushing myself to the edge of the envelope as far as I can go.
Yeah. You're gonna hit more stages and do more of whatever you want to be doing because you have less comfort. So you're like, I'm not gonna chill at home in my car. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna do the other stuff.
I mean, well, don't get me wrong. I still would Netflix and chill a lot, but like it takes a lot of that floor out from under you. Now that I'm in a house, like I'm Netflix and chilling way more. But you get the idea. Is like today, every day, like people are just arguing about stupid shit. Who's left? Who's right? Who's odd, who's even. It's like it doesn't matter in the long run.
Yeah.
It's like we're all humans, and
true.
And it's like these experiences that like this
recentering. It's a recentering, right?
Yeah.
What's a reminder of what's important? The we're too comfortable thing is one of the things I said a whole lot after my military experience. That you're really, really uncomfortable, but you get to see that the rest of the world is also like, that's how people are living in the rest of the world, is in these really rough conditions, and you see how incredibly comfortable we actually are in this country.
Yeah.
And it stops you from behaving certain ways. It stops you from having certain experiences, and that's where I think a lot of these people getting in emotional pain over these things that don't matter. They don't matter.
I hear you. I think there's a baseline of like discomfort and tragedy and heartbreak and sorrow that you can deal with, but that when you are not dealing with it in the form of survival, like either being homeless or being in the military, that it unloads itself internally. And it's like, why do I feel these things? And then all of a sudden that anguish and torment becomes internal, and then you get lonely, and then you get sad.
I think people end up externalizing it where it is actually internal, but they see it in the world, and they go after where they see it in the world.
Well, I mean, people are looking to fix a problem
in themselves.
And like, yeah, I mean, it's one of the things that I see a lot of is like, hey, if this really bothers me when I see it in other people, do I see it in myself? Because it's like, oh, if I see it in myself, maybe I should work on me first. And if I do, then those people become easier to deal with. Because I'm like, oh, I was actually just full of self-loathing. Or I was full of this other
feeling. Or when
feeling.
You did that thing,
like,
my issue with it got triggered, and
right.
I needed to pay attention to me. Not
I have issues with this shit, and so you bother me more because I have this issue. Like, it's my shit.
Right.
And I'm putting it on you. And so, like, yeah, like, treat yourself well. And so, like, that's one of the reasons I love having these experiences, is because it's like, this is how I treat myself well. I put myself in a situation where I get to have this adventure. And like, adventures are what are missing from a lot of people's lives. They go to their day job. They go to their day job. They go home. They hang out with their loved one or their friend or whatever, and they watch the ball game and they drink a beer and they repeat. And that's their day in, day out life. And they have nothing to break up the monotony. And they just fall into this, like, comfortable rut. But I, like, yeah, dude, like, I completely understand how you're uncomfortable and you don't know how to deal with discomfort anymore.
I'm all about psychedelic experiences, and I think that's what's, like, people need way more of these days. Like, allegedly on the 4th of July last year, I went to Yosemite, and I dropped, like, 5 hits of acid on the 4th of July. And I hiked, if you guys are familiar with Yosemite.
I'm really familiar with hiking. It's something I do all the time.
We should get some base jumping up there for Jackson.
Yeah.
The walking sounds like the worst part about base jumping. Like, jumping off a cliff, sure, I'm down. The walking up the cliff, fuck that.
We could drive to the top. Like,
true enough. I'll parachute to the top of the cliff. And then jump off the cliff. Brilliant.
And it was one of the best fucking psychedelic experiences I've ever had, but like you can get that by doing what we just did today, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't challenge themselves because they don't
I think the
realize
message
how
Brady's trying
important.
to say is like, don't do drugs, go skydiving.
Yeah, or do drugs and go skydiving.
Yeah, you don't like have to not do one or the other, but like,
This podcast's official stance on drugs is don't do drugs. As Brady rolls a joint.
yeah, that's
Just gotta roll a joint. You guys say I can smoke, you know. And that was one of the best like experiences in my life because it was painful because I hiked 17 miles that day. I did a 4-mile
You're really
trail.
covering ground, yeah.
Yeah, I did 4-mile trail up, and then I did like the 13 miles. That is the what's it called? Panorama Trail. And I connected to the John Muir and Mist Trail at the bottom, and I walked down that way, and it was like fucking Disneyland, dude. How fucking packed those stairs were underneath that waterfall.
Yeah.
gotcha.
It was crazy, but I made it down, and like my knees were pounding, and hadn't eaten anything all day because I was going through a fasting, you know. Because when I trip, you know. Like, and then
Well, like if you fast for long enough, you'll have hallucinogenic experiences too. So I mean, like you're just re-upping on that.
yeah, I love fasting too.
So, what else is going on in your life? Because I know your comedy career you've been in it 4 years now.
Yeah, just
and
about.
you just did Kill Tony podcast.
Yeah, I was one of the guests on there. Lucky enough to get pulled out of the hat.
How was that interview?
It was a lot of fun. They asked me about like, you know, they're like, "What do you like to do?" And I'm like, "Not interesting." But then I was like, "But I bang hookers." And then they were like, "Oh, I remember this guy," you know.
Yeah.
But now I'm trying not to bang hookers. I'm not gonna do it anymore, because it's like. It's so immature. I need to grow up.
It's too easy. It's like another one of those things that's just basically too easy.
I'm sorry, my phone's going off.
Doctor Who, guys.
Will the beast.
That's funny.
Hey.
Well, don't.
All right, so let me narrate. Brady Hold is on the phone right now
Yeah.
with his buddy Wildebeest.
I'm sorry. So, we're still at the skydiving place, and
And we're on our way back.
we're on our way back.
And you're slowing that down.
Yeah. So
This is the roommate calling.
you're gonna need to make
Wildebeest
your own way to
is
Cafe
Brady's
International.
roommate.
Also former homeless
And if
guy.
if I'm not
Homeless
there
adventurers,
by,
you know.
Yeah.
7, I'll give you a call to see if Clyde would let you put my name in or not. But I know that's
And
a no-go
we
thing.
might just cut this.
Yeah, I think this is an awkwardish but fine ending. So join us next time for the next episode of Jumping with
sorry,
Jackson,
dude.
and
They're doing their thing.
come jump with us.
Later.